It's not about how old you are, it's about your muscle movement. I mean, I have a brother who had crow's feet when he was a teenager. So good. All right, guys, I'm actually super excited to be here today. I love filming these episodes. Mostly, I mean, I'm doing it for everyone else, but I'm also doing it for myself. I do sometimes go back and listen to these and I motivate myself. So hopefully it's resonating with somebody out there and somebody's getting some kind of shred of motivation. So, one of the most common questions that I see asked in our med spa is, when is the right time to start aesthetic treatments? Well, what can I say? There's not really a magical age where you just suddenly wake up and you're like, okay, it's time for Botox and all the stuff. But the truth is, the right time to start treatments, it's not really about age. It's actually about prevention and maintenance and goals. So I want to break it down into what different treatments actually make sense and how to think of these treatments in a smarter way. I always like to compare it to buying a luxury car. So if you go buy a Porsche or if you go buy a G-Wagon or a Range Rover, like whatever luxury car vibes with you, you're going to go buy that car. You're going to be spending six figures on that car. And what are you going to do? You're going to treat it like a baby, right? You're going to be wiping that thing down every day with a baby cloth diaper. You're going to be like, no one's allowed to eat in it. You're going to be getting the oil changed on time and the tires changed and all the fluids and belts and whatever else needs to be changed on the car. You are going to treat that car like it is the most precious thing. And which is great. You should. You spend a lot of money on it. And what happens if you buy a Porsche? It's amazing. It's like a sexy car and it's working great the first few months, but then you don't go get the oil changed, or you let your kids eat in it, or you don't ever wash it, or you just let it sit out in the sun and rot. It's going to break down, right? It's not going to look as good. It's not going to function as well. So it's the same thing with our bodies, right? Our bodies are the most precious gift we have. It's a gift to have a body. It's a gift to be here on this earth. It's a gift to get to live this life. I know my father-in-law, anyone who knows him, everything he ever owned was in pristine condition. Everything he owned looked just like it did when he bought it. From his vehicles to his tools to whatever else he had, he took such good care of stuff. Every vehicle he ever had, when it was 10 years old, it still looked brand new because he literally did all those things to take care of it. So it's the same thing with our bodies. That's exactly what we need to be doing. We don't wait until things are broken down to fix it. People think that it's about fixing things after they become a problem. So people are waiting until they feel like they look tired or saggy or older than they feel, and then they just try to correct it. But it's actually much more about prevention and maintenance and like preservation than it is about correction. Yes, we totally can correct, but just like with the Porsche, if you do nothing and you just let it, you're driving it every day and it's been like 2 years and you haven't done anything to it, if it even lasts 2 years, then now all of a sudden maybe you blew the engine up and now, yes, you can fix it, but it's a huge expense. It's going to cost you a ton of money and a ton of time to get it fixed. So it's the same thing like with our bodies and our skin and everything else. Yes, we can do corrective stuff, but it's going to take more time, more money, more of a total like rehaul, I guess, for lack of a better word. So the earlier you start taking care of your skin, the easier it is to maintain your results. So let's break it down. In your 20s is really about prevention. Okay. Most people don't really need a lot of treatments. It's really the decade of like prevention and skin health. So this is going to include things like a really good quality skincare routine. I would even say starting this in your teens. Sunscreen, staying out of the sun. So, like developing those habits because that sun damage may not show up in your 20s, but it sure as heck will show up in your 40s. And then you do want to incorporate skin treatments like facials or light lasers, stuff like that, and microneedling as well to help stimulate collagen. And some people even start Botox in their 20s, people who have strong facial expressions. So this is more about preventative Botox. So the idea is really like preventing those deep wrinkles from even setting in. And, a lot of people are like, oh my gosh, you don't need Botox. You're in your 20s. Again, it's not about how old you are, it's about your muscle movement. I mean, I have a brother who had crow's feet when he was a teenager. So if you have those strong muscle pulls and like you can already see those lines like starting to etch into your skin, definitely Botox is what you need to start doing in your 20s. So when people get into their 30s, now we're talking about early maintenance. Okay, this is where we really start to see the first real signs of aging. So we're talking things like fine lines, maybe a little bit of volume loss, some skin texture changes. Our collagen has already started to decline. This actually happens in our mid 20s. So, this is usually when people start incorporating treatments like the Botox, collagen stimulating treatments, skin resurfacing, and sometimes even some hyaluronic acid injectables for some facial balancing or just to restore some volume loss. The goal is never to look different, ever, ever, ever. The goal is to maintain the way you already look or restore the way you used to look so that you look more refreshed. So when you do treatments correctly at this stage, people do. They think you're just look well rested and healthy, right? And then as we're moving into our 40s and 50s, unfortunately, this is when people start to get into aesthetic treatments. Again, it's never too late. 40s and 50s is better than never at all. But now we start having to do like more restorative and corrective treatments, okay? Because the aging process at this point is more structural. We see a lot of volume loss, especially like in the cheeks. We see a lot of changes in the jawline. We see a lot more skin laxity, deeper lines, okay? So this is where a more comprehensive approach makes sense. A lot of people come in and they're like, no, I just want this, or I just want this, or I just want this. But what people don't realize is what's causing this, this, and this. It's the whole thing. It's not just about that one area. It's about the structural um, decline in all of your face. Okay. So usually what's happening right here in the center of the face is where we see most of the things that bother us. But what's happening here or what we see here is a result of what's happening on the outside of the face. Okay. So when someone comes in and they're like, oh, I want, these lines bother me or these lines bother me. Can't we just fill these in? Yes, we can, but I want to restore what's causing the problem out here. And then if we need to add a little bit here, we can. Okay, so it's best to really treat the face as a whole and neck. A lot of times we forget about the neck, but everything should be treated as a whole. And the goal should be to transform everything together. Because if you're just maybe working on one little spot, you're going to be underwhelmed. Okay, so what do these treatments look like? How do we restore balance and support? It's going to include a combination of things. It's going to include Botox. It's going to include hyaluronic acid injectables. It's going to include laser treatments or skin tightening or some form of collagen stimulation. And obviously, this isn't all done at the same time. We create a plan for you, like a 12-month plan, and we revisit that plan regularly to make sure that it's working and we're on the right path. And then we create a new plan when a new year starts. And when it's well done, the results can actually be incredibly natural. The philosophy I believe in is at our med spa, we really believe in full transformations rather just those random treatments like I was telling you about, like, oh, I just want this spot or I just want this spot. We want you to get the best result, and that is going to involve approaching the face as a whole. And so when we take this approach, you're going to be happier with your results. It's going to look more natural. It's going to look more balanced. And honestly, you're going to age a lot better. So if you're wondering when the best time to start aesthetic treatments, the answer isn't a specific age, but I will say you should be starting it at the very least in your teens and 20s with a good skincare routine. But the best time is when you really start thinking about that prevention, that maintenance, and that long-term care, right? This isn't, we're not chasing youth. We're not chasing youth. We're just wanting to look like the best version of ourselves at every single stage of life. All right, guys, that's it for today. I will see you next week. Please subscribe, please like, please share it with all your friends. I'm out of here.